Assalamualaikum everyone. It's me, Firta. I'm back here in this channel tonight. Islamic marriage stories, and as the name goes, tonight we're going to tell stories about Islamic marriage. And tonight is a very exciting night for me because I am accompanied by my very first guest, my very first interviewee, which is Ibu Novita Sakundarini, I'm sorry, Novita Sakundarini. And Ibu Novita is here. She will generously share with us her own experiences about being married, being a mom, while also being one of the associate professors in the University of Nottingham, Malaysia. And Ibu Novita, I read your I read your portfolio, your curriculum vitae, and I was so impressed because honestly, you're living my childhood dream. Because as a child, I've always loved the idea of saving the world through sustainable approaches, going green, and your work in your research in eco design and stuff related to that inspired me so much. So it's
Thank
an
you.
honor for me to
Yeah.
have you with me tonight as my first interview, in fact. So I'm going to give this to Punovita for a while. Please introduce yourself, ma'am, to the audience.
Okay. Thank you so much, Firta. Thank you so much for inviting me in your YouTube channel. This is my very first experience to be here in YouTube channels to be interviewed. A bit nervous.
I'm also
Yeah.
nervous. We are both
I'm
nervous.
not
It's
I'm not
okay.
nervous when I talk to my research, but when I talk to my experience as a human being, yeah. But perhaps this is very new for me. But I'm very blessed and thankful for Firta for the invitation, so I can just share um, my experience on marriage, and then also how to balance the work life and also family life. I hope my sharing session will inspire all of you, especially the youngsters, when they are going to a new life, especially marriage, how to handle and how to survive, kind of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and but also you can also achieve your dream, um, especially nowadays. Perhaps a woman have, you know, um, women is different with perhaps the way their life. I mean. Now in a 21st century, I think women is given more, chances to work, and then also to, as a mom, and also taking care of the family. Yeah, so a lot of women are successful in their career, but they also successful also in their family, or in the family life lah. Okay, so it's good to be here.
Thank you, Bunofita. Okay, I already have with me several questions that I gathered from myself and my friends from
Okay.
an IG survey and a WhatsApp survey, and they are very interested in your life as a mom, wife, and
Okay, all right.
researcher.
Okay.
Yeah, so one of the first questions that is asked is, what is your perspective about continuing your studies while being in a marriage? Because I think a lot of my friends in my age, maybe a bit older, they're already thinking about, oh, I want to continue my studies, but they also want to get married. So what's your take about that?
Okay, so right, so I perhaps I will start with my own experience. I am married now. Perhaps it's 20 years ago. I
Wow, that's
was,
already a
yeah,
long time,
20,
ma'am.
sorry, 23 years ago.
I'm
Uh,
23 right
yeah,
now.
I'm married at the age of 25, and my husband is
Hmm.
27.
Yeah.
So it's still, inexperienced, and then but then we are committed to have to marry, and then to raise kids and families lah. um, I was working as a lecturer in Indonesia before, uh, but what I experienced is because my husband is very supportive, especially for me taking the further study. Yeah. So I think when you want to have a career in academics, yeah, you need to have further study. Yeah. And then when you are married, then you need, or you have a more complicated I'm not saying that it is difficult, but it's quite challenging, yeah, actually, to work on between marriage and also the study. Yeah. But the most important thing is that you need to have an approval from your husband, especially because your husband is I think the one that who give you redha. uh, if your husband is redha with your um, things that you want to do, then you will be blessed. This is what I believe lah. Then you will be blessed, and you will have, you know, you can conquer the challenge lah. That one thing, yeah, that if you want to pursue a further study. Secondly, you need to have a good communications with your spouse. Yeah. Sometimes when we do further study, there's a lot of challenges. When I took my masters, I was pregnant at that time. Yeah, I was pregnant my second son, and then at that time there a lot of challenges. Yeah, like um, definitely when you are pregnant in the first trimester, right? There will be a lot of
Sickness.
sickness, yeah, and then you
Mhm.
feel lethargic, yeah, and you need to conquer all the challenges lah, and try to balance between the study and also the your well-being as well lah, as a mom. Yeah. So but then I think one of the spirit that you need to have when you are taking your further study is that you need to have commitment lah, and then be resilient, be preserve how do I say,
Persevering.
perseverance.
Mhm.
And if you have problem, don't try to quit. Yeah. But you need to overcome. Yeah. You need to overcome every problem that you have. Because of what? If you can overcome, there's a feeling of joy and fulfillment. And what I feel is that I'm a new person. If I can conquer all the challenges, and then I feel that I'm new person. I am a new person, and how do I say? I'm more stronger, right? So something like that. And I'm more experienced, something like that. So if there's a challenging uh, if there's a challenge that you face, so please don't go back, but then try to overcome it. That's, I think, one of my view lah. I am lucky and I'm blessed because my husband very supportive, especially when I'm taking my further study from master and also PhD. My PhD is in Malaysia, so I asked my husband whether I can go for a PhD, and he said yes. And he followed me to Malaysia. Although he has work in Jakarta, so he just go to Malaysia like 2 weeks, and then going back again to Jakarta, just like
Every two
go
weeks, ma'am.
every 2 weeks. Yeah, because
Wow.
he work on his own. He has company, so it is quite flexible for him to go. He's not an employee, so he's own his um
Boss.
company. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so he can choose the schedule as he like lah. So I'm totally blessed, super blessed. And he also never put all the responsibility of the children just only for giving it to me. He also contribute to raise the kids, and then yeah, something like that. So if you want to have a further study, I strongly advise all the youngster there, if they have a family, you need to you know make the decisions with your spouse, yeah, and then try to talk on the worst thing that might be happen, and what are the mitigations that you need to have, yeah. If there's a like identify your challenging lah, your challenges lah. All right, so when you have this ABC challenge, then what are the things that you need to to overcome? Talk with your spouse. That's the first that you need to do.
Okay, wow. So it's a matter of teamwork.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me myself, marriage is a partnership. Yeah. And I think in Quran also mentioned lah about sakina mawada warahmah, right? So it's not about just you love him and he love you, no, but there's a mercy there. There's a word mercy, love and mercy, that given by God for you to have a love and mercy. So love and mercy, it has a lot of dimensions. It's very complex dimension. It's not just I love you, you love me, that's it, no. But there is a dimension like trust, okay, like uh, honesty, right? Courtesy, yeah. When you talk with your husband, or your husband talk to you as a wife, there should be a courtesy. There's a politeness, softness, a lot of dimension actually. So it's not love only. Yeah, if you want to marry somebody, don't just base on love. Love is, it can disappear. But then if you have love and mercy, even though your spouse is not perfect, right? Even though your spouse have, as a person, always they have, person is imperfect, right? Human is imperfect. So you have mercy, you have forgiveness, you try to understand a lot of perspective that come into that words lah.
That's very enlightening. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
And yeah, another related question is, what is the biggest challenge that you have ever faced while being a researcher, while being married, and having a child? Can you share? And yeah, what is it like? Because a lot of my friends inquire about that.
Okay. So the first thing is that you need to plan your activities, yeah. And then planning is the key, I think. I have a quite challenging time lah when I took my PhD, because I brought 3 kids, and they are still like, my first son is, I think is fourth grade, sekolah dasar. It's not
Elementary school.
elementary school, yeah. And then my second son is the second grade, and then my daughter, the last one, is she's like 4 years old. Yeah, so I need to manage them well. And then sometimes there are lots of submission dates, due dates, and then sometimes I also deal with perhaps my kids, sometimes they have fever, they are not healthy, so I need to stay at home. So I think the one thing is that then you need to plan well, make a, what is it called, make a schedule every day what you need to do, yeah. And then this is the also that you need to have is that don't procrastinate. Yeah, don't procrastinate. stick to your schedule very well. Let's say lah, if you have a due date, you need to submit a paper, for example. So just plan it like submit it as early as possible. Yeah, so you have time to actually do something else. Yeah, something like that lah. Plan well and then don't procrastinate. And try to have a good communications between the family member. Yeah, and then also with your boss. Yeah, because last time I was not only studying, but I also have a job in the university as well as a research assistant. So although my research and also the work that I've done is closely related because I'm under grant or fund from the university, so it required me to stay at the university. I mean, at the office like 9 to 6, something like that. So I need to prepare everything well. In the morning, I need to cook, and then you know, and I don't have maid.
Yeah,
Yeah, because it's too expensive to have maid at
I
that time lah.
see.
I cannot afford lah. Um, so I need to plan. I need to have a schedule every day that to make it to make my work smoothly delivered lah. Okay,
Hmm. So it's also a matter of organizing yourself. But what happens if you're
organizing. Yeah.
tired?
Sometimes I'm tired, yes, and sometimes I feel like mentally sometimes down. Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, if I have something like that, I will do something that make me happy. I eat ice cream, for example,
Yes.
just to give me like some sort of good feeling lah,
Hmm.
to to make me going back again to the I mean it's just to make me happy lah. Get some ice cream and then see something nice, go take a walk for a while or something like that lah. And yeah, I do sometimes swimming. Yeah, I like swimming. So sometimes doing sport lah, just to give my strength back lah. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's important too, I believe.
yeah, but you know what? Yeah, to be honest,
Hmm.
I do a little bit of research. There's a when I took my PhD, there's a PhD. There are men who took the PhD and also women. When
Hmm.
I see their what is it called, their progress, but actually women with family, they can survive well men compared to men. Yeah, men, they have delayed this is my experience. Yeah, don't be offended. Yeah, from yeah,
To all the men out there,
to
don't
all
get
the men,
offended.
don't be offended, but this one is just my experience lah. So my friend who has a family, they have uh, there's one of my friend, they actually she actually have 5 kids, and it's very small, but she can graduate on time, and then she can graduate on time, and she also manage with the children. The children are okay. I think, I don't know, because I think women are, this one is given by God lah. I mean, they can actually work under pressure. Uh, they can they can bear the pain for delivery, for example. So perhaps they can survive um, better than the man. I don't know. This is based on just my experience lah. You can
Yeah,
argue,
maybe you're right,
yeah,
ma'am.
yeah, you can argue about it, but this is uh, I mean, I am the witness lah. That I do a little bit of research um, in my close friends lah. Yeah. So don't worry lah. By good planning, I think you will be able to go through. And when you get the challenges, the key is that don't quit. you can stop for a while. You can pause, but don't quit. Then try again to get up, and then try to finish. And how do I say? Because when you are taking your study, actually you take some of your time for your family, right? So you I don't know, you owe the time from that given to you from your family. So you need to finish up everything. Yeah,
Oh, I
make them
see.
proud. Yeah, make them
Mm,
proud. Yeah, if you have challenge, try to overcome. Don't or stop for a while. It's okay. Yeah, you feeling tired, it's okay. Do something that you like. You like cooking, then do cooking. You like gardening, you just do gardening. Yeah, just to bring back your spirit again.
yeah. Okay. Thank you, Munafita, for your perspective in the career aspect. The next group of questions is about marriage in general. One of
Mm.
my friends asked, "What do you think is the most important thing about marriage?" This is a very hard and deep question.
Okay. Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, I have been married for 23 years now. Actually, last August I celebrate the 23 years of marriage.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. One of the perspective that perhaps I can give to the youngsters, or someone who would like to know or would like to learn about marriage. Yeah. So marriage is not a fancy things. Yeah. This is my perspective lah. Don't
Mhm.
think that married you will have like, princess kind of things lah. Every time it's
Fairy
romantic,
tale.
fairy tale, something like that. No, yeah. Why? Because marriage in Islam is actually you are finishing half of worship, of ibadah. Yeah. If it's relate to the worship or ibadah, there will not be an easy journey that you need to have lah. But but then don't be afraid. I mean, you will get some of the sweetness as well lah. Yeah. God always, I think Allah always create two different, you know, uh, two different perspective. One is good and then the bad. It's always like something like that lah. If you want to have a happy marriage, of course, you need to understand what is the marriage. Yeah, marriage is half of worship. So everything relate to worship. It doesn't. It is something that you need to work on. Yeah, you need to work on. So means that it is not, as I said lah. It's not that you love him and he love me and then that's it. And every day is come up with a bunch of flowers. No, yeah, there is a lot of things. Two different people, yeah. Then you need to understand that your spouse is actually is a human. They have
Mhm,
fault. They
mhm.
have flaw. Yeah. So it is your I mean it is your, I don't know, courtesy lah, or what is it called? Yeah, it is your job to actually work together to make that flaw improve. I mean, if there's a flaw, then you need to improve. Both of you need to cooperate and improve. Yeah. Improvement will not come like, as easy like you are turning your palm. Yeah. But you need to work on it. Yeah. Of course, if you work on it, there's a lot of effort. Yeah. You need to put in. Yeah. Marriott there's a lot of perspective. Yeah, it's not just love. It also have you need to work on trust. You need to work on uh since
Sincerity.
sincerity.
Mhm,
Then you need to work on the honesty. You need to work on the teamwork. There's a lot of aspect that you need to improve. Yeah. So how to, sometimes you cannot cooperate. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, like how well, I think a lot of things that I need to say, but then, well, accept your spouse lah. I mean, he's not a perfect human being. Yeah, work on the marriage lah. How to get the happy marriage? Try to understand each other lah. And then the important thing also, don't focus on the, you know, on the on the flaw of the spouse. Yeah, focus on the good things. Yeah, rather than you are focusing like, oh, he never going to shower, oh, he's not, something like that. You just focus on the good thing, like, oh, he did a complete salah, for example. He's good in treating people, and always in the good things. Yeah, that will remind you to stay on, be faithful. Yeah. uh, and of course, if you have problems, try to solve. Yeah. Don't try to, run away from the problem. You need to solve. Yeah. Um if you are going into the marriage life, then you need to always improve yourself. Yeah. It's okay, sometimes we are human, sometimes we are, not in a good, sometimes we don't behave well. Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's how the mercy of Allah is actually is given lah. Yeah. Oh, there's one more important thing. Yeah, when you want to go to the marriage life, yeah, you need to talk about the value. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you need to talk about the value. What is your value? What is the value? And then uh, have a discussion and have the same mission, where we gonna where we want this family to go. Yeah. Try to have a consensus. Yeah. Agreement on that. Yeah. And talk on the difficult things. Don't talk just, I love you too. No, it is not. When you are married for, 5 years, 10 years, uh, you will not expect some of the, that things anymore lah. You will, you feel like your spouse is like a partner or a friend. Yeah. That you can talk a lot of things, you can talk on difficult things. Yeah. Then when let's say lah, one of your spouse, perhaps they he or she perhaps going to different direction, because we already discussed the value that we want to have in our family, then it will be um, easy to take him or her back lah. We can
Mm-hmm.
just remind he or she on the things that we are agree upon on
Mm-hmm.
the first day of marriage. So it's something like that lah.
Wow, yes. I think you have already answered the question about reconciling differences. So I will
Mm,
try to ask another question from my friend. She asked, how do you manage expectations throughout the years?
throughout the expectation to the spouse, or
Yes.
okay.
Also the marriage,
I
maybe.
okay. I don't expect.
So don't expect anything at all.
Don't expect it. Yeah. Okay. It is a normal that as a
Mhm.
human being we have expectations. Yeah. But then your spouse is not you. Yeah.
Yes.
You are expecting people to change. Yeah. You cannot. Yeah, you cannot
Mhm.
expect people to change as you like. Yeah, because they have their own perspective, they have their own background. It also depends on the upbringing. Yeah, from their family, the values that they believe, right?
Mhm.
What you can do is that try to improve yourself. Yeah, improve yourself. If you are improving, the one that very close to you will of course also will follow. Yeah,
Mhm.
improve every day. Is try to improve to be a better person. Yeah, don't I mean you can expect, but then uh, don't expect too much lah. Don't expect too much,
I see.
especially you expect to change people. Yeah, the one that you can change is that yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and also the respond. Yeah, let's say if there's somebody perhaps offend you, you cannot change them. Yeah, the way that you can do is that you need to respond to them, right? Your
Mm-hmm.
response is matter. It's not,
Mm-hmm.
you know try to change somebody perspective. That almost impossible. And of course, with the helps of Allah and God willing, uh, always pray. Yeah, if you want, if you have some problem or something, go back to Allah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for the answer. I think my friend will be very enlightened. She also has another question.
Okay.
She's very curious. Is it true that it gets easier the more you know your spouse?
The more you know your spouse, of course. Yeah. For me, um yeah, but sometimes there's a time lah. There's a times that you will be fully understand of what your spouse trying to,
Mm-hmm.
uh trying to show or trying to say something like that. I think when you are in a 23 marriage life, yeah, you will be able to be to get a lot of wisdom lah. I mean, trying to understand, yeah, because marriage have the period, 1 to 5 is that you are trying to adapt each other. Yeah, so there will be a lot of fighting. There's Yeah, that's normal. That's normal. I mean, because you are two different person, you have different value. Yeah, sometimes a very small matters can trigger fighting. A very very small matters like habit. Yeah, like for example, your spouse, they never clean your things, for example, and then you are somebody who is
Clean.
very clean. Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
that will trigger something lah. Yeah, but try to solve it nicely lah. Yeah, be patient. Yeah, there will be a lot of patience lah. You need to bear lah. Yeah, but
Mm-hmm.
put a beautiful passion. Yeah, beautiful passion, as our prophet always say lah. Put a
Mm-hmm.
beautiful patience. Yeah, and then 1 to 5, 5 to 10 is the time when you are perhaps you are more mature, and then perhaps there's a lot of conversations going on. It's not a fighting anymore, perhaps. Yeah, it is more talk, more discussions. Yeah, and I think 10 to 20 is the time where you feel that your spouse is, how do I say, you know better lah, your spouse lah. Even if your spouse doesn't talk, yeah, it's just lah,
That's a long time, ma'am. 10
yeah,
years.
10 years. Yeah, this is what I feel lah. This is what I feel lah. But
Yeah.
just enjoy lah, enjoy all
Mm-hmm.
the step or all the period that you have lah. It will not be easy, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but then with the faith, be faithful. Yeah, and always remember that marriage is actually a worship to Allah. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
if it's related to Allah, then you will try as much as possible, right, to make it work. Yeah, you make an effort to make it the marriage work. Okay. If you have sometimes in your married times you have problems, try to solve it nicely with your spouse, and yeah, go back to Allah lah, because basically what is it called, it's a worship. So
Mm-hmm.
if you treat marriage like, like something that if there's a problem that you leave, then I think you didn't find it as a worship. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because Allah doesn't like when
Yes.
you take, although it's okay to take a divorce, yeah, but then Allah doesn't like. So do things that please Allah. Yeah, do as much as possible to please
Mm-hmm.
Allah. Yeah, if Allah doesn't like, then go for it. Work for it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I can say lah.
Yeah, that's very empowering. It reminds me that it's another form of worship, and we should do our best.
Do our best. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. As a Muslim, we should remember this one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very important.
Mm.
Okay, we are already on to the last group of questions, and this group of questions is specifically about marital readiness. So, two of my friends asked, "How do you know that you're ready for marriage?"
That you're ready for marriage.
Mm-hmm.
I think you need to ask Allah lah. When, because Allah is the best, planner. You need to you know have a good relationship with Allah before you decide that uh, you take somebody as your imam. For this is for girl especially, for
Yes.
your imam, or for a man perhaps take
Mm-hmm.
somebody to be your wife. Yeah,
Yeah.
because if a man takes somebody to be a wife, then this man should be able to be a leader. Yeah, so you need to prepare very well. Marriage is not something for jokes or something. Yeah, once you commit it, then you need to work for it. Okay. So how do you know that that's a one of how do you know that this person is actually for me? Yeah. Well, I just talk based on my experience lah. When
Yes.
I meet my husband, of course lah, what I look at my husband is not, of course, his family lah, his family, how the family, and then we need to know lah who is she, yeah, who is he actually. But the most important thing, look at his friend. Yeah, that my suggestion lah for you. Who is his friend? Yeah, if his friend is somebody who is how many is his friend? Yeah, if it's a lot, so means that he is a good person. Or who is his friend? Yeah, he's surrounding his friend. You will be able to see that he is good for you or not. Yeah, his friend, and then look at his family. Yeah, and then look on his worship, of course. Yeah, for people who is um, want to please Allah, they will not do something that are not pleasing Allah, you know right? So choose somebody who is have a very strong faith to Allah. Yeah, but
So we check
yeah,
on their friends, like how do they behave and how do
how
they
do they
worship.
behave? Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how do they behave? How is the relationships? How he perhaps handle the situations
Mm-hmm.
when there's a problem with their friends.
Mm-hmm.
That you will see his early behavior lah. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
so if he is the person who is trying to solve problem, not going, avoid problems, then of course in marriage he will do something like that.
So, in order to know if we're ready or not, we ask God. And our own struggle in checking on the spouse is mostly, in your
Yeah,
experience, looking at their friends.
yeah. Usually that works lah for me.
It worked for you.
It works for me lah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but perhaps there are different. I don't know lah, different way that you can
Mm-hmm.
do. But for me, that's I think it's quite significant lah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
It is because there's also a saying that people who are similar gather together. So if he has good friends, that means he's good. Something
Yeah,
like.
he's good. He's keeping the value of friendship. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Okay. And what advice would you give? Because my friends, and also myself, we are asking for advice. Would you give to young people who are looking to get ready for marriage?
Yeah. Okay. So my advice is that, as I always mention, lah, marriage is not something that, fairy tales, lah. You need to be ready. Yeah. Marriage life is, you need to build your strength and a lot of aspect, lah, on how to be a good person as well. Yeah. It's a very good training for life. I mean, good training in terms of how to make you more, give you a better person, like to be a better person. Yeah. And marriage is a half of worship. Yeah. You need to remember that. So you need to take it seriously, including how to select the spouse. Yeah. You need to have, when you select the spouse, don't just base on love. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do some sort of research first lah. Yeah, research. Yeah, how he keeps himself in the connections of Allah. Yeah, how he manage his time. How who is his friend. So a lot of things. Yeah, that you need to look on before you decide to take this person as your spouse. Yeah.
Okay. This is related to, actually related to the next question. One of my friends asked, "How should we choose a spouse? Do we follow our heart, or do we follow an objective criteria?"
Yeah, sometimes it's difficult for a girl when a girl is falling in love. Usually,
Yes.
yeah, and then she will, try as much as possible to make the dream come true. Like, you are the perfect person, and then, well, when it comes to select a spouse, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you need to be very careful. Yeah, you need to be
Mm-hmm.
aware that your spouse will living with you for the rest of your life. Yeah, so ask yourself whether this is the good person for me. Yeah, I mean, come on lah, don't just try to look at, okay, I am very in love with him. Yeah, don't just look on the love lah, but then you need to be mindful lah, on the criteria of a good husband. um, and then the other thing, whether he will be a good father for your future, you know future kids. Yeah, how he decides something. Can it be, can he be the leader of my family? Yeah. So the okay lah, you love him, but then you need to be stay in the ground lah, and then try to, you know don't just trying to
Don't
fly,
don't don't fantasize too much.
fantasize too much, and then you need to stay on the ground and think a bit more deep. Yeah. And then try to make your brain also working. Yeah,
It's
not just
very
the
hard.
feeling.
It's very hard for girls to do that, ma'am. And I can attest that it's hard.
It is hard. Yes, it is hard, but that one is for your own sake.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, you see, right, there are so many failed marriage. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps they are really happy in the first beginning, but then when it comes to a problem, financial problem, blah blah blah, not just financial, perhaps family matters. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
big family, there's a problem, then they cannot cope with that, and they decided to separate. Of course you don't want that. Yeah, so when it comes to, you want to go for the marriage, you need to have your brain also, I mean, your rational, yeah, your rational in place also.
Mm-hmm.
Will he be will be okay as a leader, will be okay as a future father. Yeah, so the perspective is not just love, but then this person will stay for you for the rest of your life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So we have to keep our ratio.
Rational, yeah,
Yeah.
we must keep you must keep your rational, yeah, and not just romanticize with love, yeah, something
Yes.
like that lah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the person who is very rational, so I honestly lah, but sorry lah if this one offend somebody lah. Yeah, I'm not too impressed with the men that come to me. I mean, with a bunch of flowers, with chocolate, and with the thing very fancy. I'm that kind of person. Yeah. Perhaps other person have a different way of accepting love of something, but I'm that kind of person. I am more into having more discussions and try to talk rationally, yeah, and then asking straightforward lah, difficult thing like how how you will how you will do for our family if we have family, something like that. Yeah, but
Mm-hmm.
perhaps not other person perhaps will have a different approach. That is okay, but then try to still manage your rational lah. Okay. And
Okay.
perhaps if you can involve your closest family, like your father or your mother, and then before you decide, you try to, make a conversations or, discuss on selecting the good person lah. Mm. Although it's not always helpful lah. I mean, sometimes, your parents have their
Yeah.
own, yeah,
Approach.
yeah, approach, or some maybe sometimes your friends, yeah, but no, I mean that's only for second opinion lah, because
Yeah.
the decision will be coming from yours.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you very much. And we have a last question, and it's actually kind of sensitive. She said that she feels insecure about her body, and
Okay.
as we all know, like sexual relations is a part of marriage, and she says
Mm.
that she's afraid that if she gets married and her spouse sees her and he doesn't like her, something like that. So the question is more about managing sexual expectations before and after the marriage.
That's the things that part of discussions lah with your future spouse lah. I mean, you can talk to, but if you I mean if you already very close to him lah, you can definitely you can talk this kind of topics lah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, although it's yeah, it is a sensitive one lah, but then I don't know, I'm when I married I didn't think about that actually.
My friend thought about it because I think she is insecure about her body. So it's one of the
Mm.
things that she considers when entering the marriage.
But yeah, I think you can discuss with your future husband about this lah. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
but then this is a difficult questions lah. But then if see what is the answer, yeah, see what is the answer for your future from your future husband lah. Let's say if he doesn't care, perhaps okay lah. But then if he thinks that this is a problem, so you need to think twice lah. I mean, as you need to have it as a reserve lah. I mean, because he wants something like this, so whether you want to choose this as a husband or not, it depends on you. Yeah, but I
Mm-hmm.
think it is okay if you talk about this sensitive issue. I suggest everyone, if you are okay lah, you can talk about difficult things lah before you go to the marriage lah. Anything you can discuss first with your future spouse, so there will not be any questions anymore when you are entering, because everything, all of your, worriness, yeah, all of your insecurity, it's already been discussed and solved, yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
if you are going as a husband and wife, you already accept each other. uh, yeah, your insecurity, your future husband know already. If it's he's okay, then you probably can,
Continue.
continue. Yeah, but that depend on you lah. But then this also can be, I mean, you can talk about this lah.
Mm-hmm. So it's more about being open.
Being
But
open, being
yeah.
transparent lah, before you entering the gate of marriage. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That I think it's much more better than you keep it yourself.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that actually wraps it up, ma'am. We're already at the last question.
Okay.
So I think before we end tonight's interview conversation, I'm going to give you a last chance to say whatever you want to say to my friends. I'm going to refer to my viewers as my friends now because we're all learning together, right? Okay, what would you like to say to my friends?
Okay, so well, I think if you want to go to a marriage life, yeah, well, I always emphasize this, yeah. You need to be very mindful of what the concept of marriage, and marriage is a half of worship, so you need to work on it. If it's enough, not enough, then you need to work very hard, because your progress of your marriage is actually is a worship. Yeah, means that it's a part of God's plan that given to you. Yeah. um, God will give you, like, your a spouse. Yeah. uh, like, death, what is it called, marriage, and also what is the three of it, death, spouse, it's in the hand of Allah. Yeah. So yeah, and there are many aspects that you need to consider when you want to go to a marriage life. Yeah, because it's a worship, means that you need to do things that please Allah. Yeah. And then you need to not to just put love as your base of marriage, but then also love and mercy, sakinah, mawadah, warohmah. Yeah, that's, I think, the things that you need to highlight when you want to go for a marriage. I think that's it.
Okay, thank you very much, Munafita, for your time and your generosity in sharing the stories. I
Yeah,
personally think
my
that
pleasure.
it's not easy to share
It
about things like
is.
this.
Yeah.
I think you are more used to your sharing about your as in your role as a lecturer, not as a human being in a marriage like this. So thank you
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
much. I hope Allah will reward you with a lot
I
of
mean,
pahala, a lot of
yeah.
rewards.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and I hope I can visit you one day in Malaysia.
Yeah,
It
sure.
would be
It will be open, I think, I don't know, end of this year. Perhaps if the border open, we can just, perhaps I can go back and then meet you also. But
I would
anyway,
love to, yeah,
yeah,
have a tea with you maybe or cake.
yeah, yeah. Thank you so much for inviting me. I hope the things that I share today will give or will enlighten everybody. And this is just my perspective and my experience on marriage. Yeah, based on my understanding and also my experience. Somebody perhaps will have different perspective. It's okay, but I hope it can empower everyone and give insight. Take the good things, leave the bad things. Okay.
Okay, will do, ma'am. Okay, thank you very much, Novita.
Thank you.
I hope I can see you again in another occasion and have a good rest because it's already night.
Okay. Thank you. You too.